may be a bit of a challenge, but one I'm sure you're up for.
I can be quite resourceful.
In order to enter, one must...
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more.
Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
Yes, sir. But I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here.
Between the incantations of the color change and growth charms. Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now.
Can I help you?
Did you see?
Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right.
It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless.
Interesting perspective.
We handled it, and I think you're underestimating the nature of a dragon. A broom would have been kindling. Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away.
Huh. You're definitely in the right house.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to simplicity. We'll start with you two. Duelist.
I enjoyed that. I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back. Have you and Professor Fig not discussed my training? I'm not sure I have time for extra assignments, Professor. Yes, about time. I suppose so. It's all a bit of a blur, to be honest.
May I have my gobstones back?
I'm afraid I've decided to keep them. That'll teach you to stink up your classmates. I'm only teasing. Of course you can have them. I can be sneaky. Let's go. You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible? You told me the librarian would be gone by now. You distract, I get the key. Understood. I'll say, I nearly went deaf. I suppose if that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you at the forest.
And where have you two been?
Seems someone's jealous of my skills on a broom. Perhaps I am competition. Actually, why not? I can beat your record. Proper magical education ought to include all magic. Yikes! Careful!
Huh?
I see good things. After all, the future's mine for the taking, and I shall take what I must. That's really not funny. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Pigtails Piers!
Yes, him. That's the one. I'm ready to fly.
That clear?
But
Well, thank you, Amit. I had a feeling there would be a catch to that telescope. All right, I suppose I can go with you. I hope it's worth it. A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about. Whatever you say, Amit. Whatever you say.
more cobwebs. You don't think any spiders might be lurking about?
Oh, no. Not this close to the school, Amit.
Honestly, nothing you say sounds strange to me anymore.
Fair enough. I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ranrock. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not certain I needed all the extra assignments.
And I'm certain you would not have been as successful without them.
Professor Fig has encouraged me to explore when I can, in an effort to complete my field guide. I unmasked your thief. Actually, sir, the thief was a Niffler.
What?
You know, small, furry. Surely you're joking. You can't possibly be afraid of a puffskein.
It may seem irrational to you, but my experience with them has been most upsetting. Some have even taken to calling me Puffskein Dunkeen.
I'm sorry, but you have to admit that's rather clever.
I do not have to admit that.
Is it terribly difficult?
Not too bad, if you know what you're doing.
Don't be so humble about it.
Actually, I think she'll be safer with me.
That was my idea to rescue her. I really fell in love with her beautiful plumage.
Beats the feet. How hilarious. I mean, how terrible. Horrible. Truly. You sent crates of cabbages to battle Ranrock's loyalists.
I did indeed.
Forgive me, I was sure you must have been raised in the countryside.
I used to dream of just that.
I'm willing to ignore what the journal says. We're taking the relic.
Incredible.
I was amazed to see that it seemed to give her some sort of power, and that she could harness it. But how?
I worry that you seem more intrigued than repulsed.
I am from tragedy, but typically, one can practically osmose.
Why didn't you tell us it was just a skull? Yes, but why does that matter to you? I'll get you the Fuipa feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it. I brewed an Edgerus potion, as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor.
I suggest you heed my warning.
That was an interesting class.
Thanks to you. I appreciate your help.
Professor Sharp wasn't happy. Leave me out of your grand plans next time. I'm afraid I'm not keen on mucking about at the bottom of lakes. Did that really happen, or are you simply being overdramatic?
Of course it happened!
He truly is rather foul, isn't he? Calm down, I'm here now.
Calm down. Those buffoons outside have been talking about burning me. Me!
What if I don't want to return you to the Three Broomsticks?
What on earth do you mean?
I could just burn you and be done with it.
I'd like to see you try.
You really ought not have said that. Confringo!
Are you burning me?
The Grim, if you saw one, is an omen. Omens don't attack you, so I doubt an invisibility potion will do you much good.